Hi, everybody. President of Oregon Cattlemen's Association. I have the privilege today to be here with Diana Wirth from Oregon Cattlewomen's Association. And Diana, you're serving as president there. Do you want to introduce yourself, where you're at, where you're from, and some of what the cattle women do?
Absolutely. Todd, it's great to be here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come on here and talk a little bit about the Oregon Cattle Women and some of our projects and what our purpose is. As you said, my name is Diana Wirth. I'm the Oregon Cattle Women president, and I've been serving, I'm going on my full second year now. So I'll be leaving my office, retiring in November, where Susan Bunch will take over. I'm a fifth generation beef producer down here in Klamath County. And together with my husband and our families, we run our Red Angus outfit, and we couldn't be more proud to be beef producers in the state of Oregon.
Well, Diana, you do serve well, and you've gotten all around all over the state, and really appreciate all the work that the cattle women do. What is the mission statement? What is your mission as cattle women?
Yes, well, since the late 70s, the Oregon Cattle Women at that time developed a creed and a mission statement. And I'm going to say it. I've got it memorized, but I'm hoping I get it correct. And if I don't, I'm sure our membership will let me know. So here it goes. Believing that the livestock industry is of basic importance to the world's existence, we, the Oregon Cattle Women, dedicate ourselves to support it with our labor and our finances, to promote it through information and publicity, and also to encourage its producers with our understanding and our love. It is also our mission to do all in our power to instill in the coming generations the love of the land and of the life, the humility and awe before nature, and the hope and the faith that is inherent in cattlemen and cattle women. So essentially, in a nutshell, that's who we are. That's what we do. We look for any way possible that we can to encourage our industry's producers and support our industry with our labor and our finances, because we know just how important it is to our world's existence.
Well, that is impressive that you were able to memorize that.
Yeah, I was a little nervous
to repeat the mission statement that we have for Oregon Cattlemen, because I could maybe paraphrase it best. So good job. And so, what kind of projects have you been doing here this last couple of years that have been so busy for you?
Yeah, well, I just want to give you a little bit of a history on the Oregon Cattle Women. We were formed on May 10th in 1953, and we were formed out of just an obvious need to fill an education gap. We partnered at that time with the fledgling Oregon Beef Council to do all sorts of promotional activities, and we continue those activities today, whether it's the Hoofing It in Baker County, or it's any one of our many activities, such as Ag Fest in Salem. That's a huge event for us. We look for ways to fund those projects, and particularly as the president of the Oregon Cattle Women, I've been traveling around all over, the United States, essentially representing our states. So I've been to Pawhuska, Oklahoma. I've been to Houston. I've been to San Antonio. I've been Fort Worth. I've been all over the place, just as a representative of our state's organization. Some of the projects, particularly that I have been involved in the last couple of years, when I came in, I was a COVID president. So I thought maybe my entry into the Oregon Cattle Women would be a little bit soft, but it wasn't. We hit the ground running. And because of COVID, we had many opportunities, and myself in particular, to talk to individuals and families about beef resources, and to get the message out there about how nutritious our product is, and specifically how nutritious our product is and beneficial our product is towards healing, building strong bodies, and that sort of thing. And so during the first few months of my presidency, I fielded many calls about where to find our product, how to get it, because people were finding that there was a shortage on the supermarket shelves. And so probably the first couple of months I was president, I probably answered 3 or 4 calls a day from people, or received messages through OregonCattleWomen.org about how people could procure beef. So my presidency started out that way. As we progressed into the year, we realized that we needed to start getting back to business as usual. And we partnered with the Cattle Barons organization out there in Pendleton to participate and be a part of the Pendleton Cattle Barons comeback year. That was awesome. And like I said, we've since then we participated in Ag Fest. We've done our annual and mid-year meetings. We still continue to fund a Summer Ag Institute for teachers that are wanting to go and attend that event and learn more about ag in the classroom. Different ag ed outreaches in classrooms as were permitted, per COVID issues. And then of course, most recently, the Oregon PAC event, that's always been a fun opportunity for us to just get our name out there and contribute to something that's super important. And then in all of it, I've also served as an Oregon Beef Council member.
Yeah, you are busy. Beef Council alone should keep you busy enough, but you take all this on and great partner for your family there on the ranch. You have an upcoming event, an annual meeting. Do you want to talk about that? Or is anybody welcome to attend that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, our doors are open, welcome to everybody. And rumor has it that Executive Director of the Oregon Cattlemen's Association, Tammy Denny, is going to be there. And I also have a commitment from its president, President Nash, that he's going to be there also. But the doors are open to everybody, whether you're a mom, you have children, if you are a man interested in ag education and our mission statement, you're more than welcome. You can find the registration at OregonCattleWomen.org, OregonCattleWomen.org. There's a 2-day option. You can sign up for both days, or you can sign up for Saturday only. So this is going to be the kickoff celebration of the Oregon Cattlewomen's 70th year in existence. Like I said, in 1953, May 10th, we formed. And so we're going to take this entire year to celebrate all of our accomplishments, all of our outreach opportunities that we've taken advantage of. And we would invite everybody, especially to that Saturday night dinner. It's going to be a hoot and a holler. We're going to hold that event at Sun River Resort. And that party in particular is going to be held at the Great Hall. And if you've ever been there, you know it's a wonderful historic building. At one time housed cattle. And it's kind of a restored military encampment. And so we just look forward to having everybody attend. We'll have a succession workshop as well as many other speakers. Of course, we'll do the annual business of the OCW, and we look forward to everybody participating.
Well, that does sound like a good time, and I'm looking forward to coming down there. My mom was a member of the Oregon Cattlewomen's, and I remember her and some others going to Portland and giving a presentation at a store and talking about selling the entire store out of hamburger. And it was kind of hard to believe, but they did. And they did a lot of promotions around the schools and different things. And it was always a really well appreciated, well respected organization. And you carry that tradition on very well today. So congratulations.
Thank you. And if I may just add something to that, Todd, I really appreciate you bringing that up. The Oregon Cattlewomen were one of the first organizations in the nation that actually had an America's Beef is Best promotion campaign. And it focused on beef products that were actually grown and raised and processed here in the state of Oregon and in our nation. So way back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, that was a very, very important aspect of our organization. And really it's kind of a feather in our cap that we all the way back then saw the importance of promoting not just our state's beef, but our nation's beef also.
Yeah, that's a great perspective on history there. On a lighter note, one of my good friends, Wayne Cook, that I often quote, he is a term of endearment. The local organizations was the Cowbells, and I think even there was a Cowbells state organization, wasn't there? Or was it always Cattlewomen?
Yes, no, that's correct. So initially when we formed, it was the Oregon Cowbells in affiliation with American National Cowbells. And then in 1981, during Gerda Hyde's term, we changed it to the Oregon Cattlewomen to stay more in line with our national affiliation.
The term of endearment he used for the cowbells was the dingalings. And
Well, I'm not going to forget that one.
anyway, but
Oh,
only Wayne could get away with it, and they appreciated it coming from him. Well, Diana, we're going to wrap this up, but there's one more thing that I want to throw out there, and you as an organization, not necessarily in the middle of politics, but you did something unusual this year. Do you want to talk about that?
yes, sir. Well, as as you know, the Oregon Cattlewomen traditionally stay in the lane of promotion, education, and legislation. Those were the three pillars that our organization was founded upon: promotion of our industry, education about our industry, and legislation focusing on positive producer image and positive product image. And so we don't normally endorse political candidates. We don't normally engage in activity because we feel it's very important for us to be able to work across all demographics, political parties, et cetera, et cetera. And but this year, about a month and a half ago, during an executive committee meeting, because the Oregon Cattlewomen hold executive committee meetings once a month, and our members are more than welcome to sit in on those meetings, may not be able to comment during those meetings, but are more than welcome to sit in on them. During that meeting, the idea was floated about endorsing a gubernatorial candidate this year. Like I say, we don't normally jump into that lane, but this year our executive committee felt it was important enough to address, considering some of the things that are going on in our state that are adversely affecting our industry, and more specifically its producers. And because we have such a keen interest in education, that area also. Well, the executive committee came to the decision or the realization that they did not want to act outside of the membership. So they chose to go ahead and create a poll of the membership, sent it out, and 96% of our respondents reflected in their vote the importance of endorsing a gubernatorial candidate. And in that 96%, those that responded believe that Christine Drazen was the candidate to endorse. So for the first time in our history, never before have we ever done it, the Oregon Cattlewomen are endorsing Christine Drazen as our next governor for the state of Oregon. And it came with a lot of discussion. It was a very difficult decision, but one that our executive committee felt needed to be addressed. And obviously our membership felt it was an important enough topic to respond forcefully what their opinions were.
Well, I really appreciate that leadership from you guys. I appreciate everything that you do for our industry. Such a tremendous partnership at the local, state, and national level that Cattlewomen's provide, and the kind of leadership in this time when I think that it is incumbent upon us to endorse this candidate, and Oregon Cattlemen's, as you know, did the same. And it's not always an easy thing for everybody to do, but it's important that we lead, and you guys certainly are leaders. Look forward to lots more partnerships and collaboration between the two, Oregon Cattlemen's and Oregon Cattlewomen, and I really appreciate you coming on today. I really appreciate all your dedicated service to both Cattlewomen's and Beef Council and everything else you do. So
thank you, Todd. And I just want to close by saying one thing. The executive committee, just going back to the endorsement really quick, the executive committee also came to the realization that just because our organization endorses does not mean that in any way our individual memberships ability to cast their own votes is affected. It only means that that was the will of the membership. And so once again, we're proud to do that. But we just want to take this moment to really thank you for your leadership also. We appreciate your guidance, and more so than anything, we appreciate your love of the grassroots beef producer. It's what our industry thrives on. And so thank you very much. And thank you to everyone at Oregon Cattlemen's Association, your executive committee, volunteers, and your committee heads. We appreciate every last one of you. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, and you have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much, Todd.
Bye.